Hello and welcome to Creating Canon with your hosts AJ Hamilton and nominees crying politely. No, just cry. Don't stutter. That's the one. Oh.
I can't cry quietly. I'm sorry.
I said politely.
Oh.
That's fine.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah, pretty good.
Did I win my Oscar?
You did. Absolutely you did. And Nicholas C. Pappas. Come on up.
You really like me.
That's where I'll put in the crowd applause.
It's my honor. Thank you.
Perfect.
That was Joe Pesci's entire award speech for Goodfellas.
Was it?
Oh, it's my privilege. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Not the shortest speech.
No?
No.
Which one was?
Alfred Hitchcock
Oh.
for his Lifetime Achievement Award.
What did he say?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Yeah.
So I guess the only way to beat that would just be like,
Cool.
thanks,
I think, yeah, thanks
like-
would do it.
rad,
Later.
or like,
You know,
I just flipped AJ off, so like that's what happened.
Yeah.
It's quiet, so
Right.
there'd be no words, just to flip off.
Wow.
Anyways,
yeah. So this is our special Cannon Blast of the Oscars, the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
They are coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on when you're listening to
Right.
this, but we're
We're-
recording this right before
we are recording this
Oscars.
on Thursday, February 6th.
Indeed.
And our hope is to, just talk about
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah, I mean, as we always do. Just in a
Pretty
much
much.
broader sense, in the focus that
Yeah.
the business of show puts on these. Do you know why it's rumored to be called the Oscars?
Because
Yes.
Oscar the Grouch
Right.
did not win, and he got mad, and then they said, Big Bird
Yep.
said,
Right.
hey, Oscar, we'll name the award after you.
Aw.
And he said,
What do you say?
I'm a grouch.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
No, that's not at all. But,
Oh.
I mean, Big Bird would do something like that.
Yes.
He's very altruistic.
It's too bad that Snuffleupagus didn't lose, because we could have been having the Snuffleupaguses this weekend.
Well, Snuffleupagus is actually imaginary, so there's no way he would have been nominated even?
Not anymore.
Oh, no?
Not anymore, because they thought it was bad for kids to have imaginary friends.
That's screwed up.
Also,
I don't like that.
Cookies are sometime food.
That's not an always time food, no.
Yeah.
So there are multiple different iterations of the story of how this came to be, the Oscars. Some believe that the Academy Award of Merit, the statue itself, looked like Margaret Herrick's uncle, who was named Oscar. And now Margaret Herrick was actually the librarian and future director of the Academy Awards back in 1931.
Oh.
So that's how far that goes back.
There was an Oscar librarian?
No, the uncle of a librarian.
Well, you know what I mean.
Oh, yes.
It's
There would-
weird to think of a librarian.
Yes.
But,
I guess she would look up information about the Academy Awards.
that in 34 they were like 3 years old. What
don't know.
information could it be?
I don't know, man.
I remember when Wings won.
Maybe they were thinking, like, this person in the future will look things up for us.
I see.
You know?
I see. I
knows?
remember when Wings won the Academy Award.
But also, there was a newspaper writer named Sidney Skolsky who also claims that
Say that 3 times fast.
I will not try to, because I've tried, and it does not work out well.
Skidney's skullfucker.
Figgly-groggenboog. That was none of it. He claimed that he thought that the awards were too self-aggrandizing, and so he wanted to bring them down a peg and, like, humanize the award rather than it being, like, some lofty night. So it was based on a vaudeville joke where he was like, will you have a cigar, Oscar? And apparently that, yeah, right. Remember when comedy was not funny?
Oh, man, will you have a cigar? Oscar.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, there was probably some context to that,
Oh,
but
fuck.
man,
Whew.
Sidney
Ooh.
Skolsky was
Sidney
a
Skolsky. Why didn't
was a
he
crack up.
win a comedy award?
I don't know. But the first documented point of somebody accepting and calling it an Oscar was Walt Disney himself for Three Little Pigs in 1934. And he said, "Oh, look at my little Oscar," on stage while he was accepting it. So
maybe because Oscar Mayer Wiener, he won for
I like where
Three
you're going
Little
with
Pigs. Little Pigs
let me
go
come in.
into an Oscar Mayer Wiener. Hot dog. Look at my little Oscar.
Nice.
Let's just forget I said any of that.
Can I say that I love your mind? I love the way it works.
Really?
Nope. That was a lie. But
Shut
where's
the fuck
my
up.
Oscar for it? Wasn't that believable?
No.
Okay. So we are going to start out. Nicholas, how do we want to start out?
I think, well, one of the questions I do want to ask is, what is your relationship to the Academy Awards? As in, are you a person who tends to watch all the movies? Do you not give a shit? Where do you sort of land on that?
I have watched them for years and years, I think. On and off. Maybe clips from old ones to see people's acceptance speeches. I really like seeing that. I would say that around 2010... something like that, I remember attempting to see all of the movies that were nominated, but I don't know why I wasn't as plugged into it, but I would always have to sort of wait until the nominees were out to realize I didn't have the instinct to know what you thought was going to be nominated.
What Entertainment Weekly was talking about at that time. Or
exactly.
What had won Cannes and
that's
everything else.
Exactly.
Telluride and Sundance.
Yeah,
and Toronto.
all of the telltale signs that this was going to be in the running. You know, so I still try to hit most of them. Sometimes, like this year, I waited for a while and I sort of stuffed them all into like a month of watching them or less.
Oof.
And it's a lot of suffering and sadness.
Yeah.
You realize that warrants an Oscar. So it's sometimes there have been years where I'm just like, that's too much down.
Yeah, Oscars are not kind to comedies usually.
Right. Yeah, so they're a bit of a slog to get to, especially if you stack them all together.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, there's been some years where I'm like, that's too much serious for me, and I skip a couple of them. But so not religiously, but what about you?
I think early on in my movie watching lifetime, I was very much a voracious believer that these are the best movies.
Right.
Period. The end. And I would try to watch as much of them as I could. Somewhere I realized that is actually not true.
What? It might just be an
award show.
Award show?
Where people glad hand each other. Which, look, I would gladly accept an Oscar. But what I should say is, I tend to like a lot of the stuff that is nominated. I mean, obviously, cream will rise to the top in some things. Yes, of course. But I also realized at one point in time that there were a lot of things that I really found myself loving that wasn't necessarily the popular thing to love.
I get that.
In certain years. And oftentimes, my favorite movies of the year were not even, in the running.
Yeah.
Although I would still really appreciate a lot of the things that were in the running. So I would say that I use it as a good barometer to just sort of see what is in the popular culture, even though some might even argue that the Oscars themselves are not the popular culture.
Right, yeah.
But it is a good litmus test to just sort of see a bunch of things that have been sort of quality controlled.
Yeah, I get that.
And I try to see literally everything on the list.
Yeah, you do.
Which this year I did pretty good.
Yeah. I think I did fair.
You did fair?
I think I did better than other years.
Sure.
But I think there were some significant ones that I missed out on, unfortunately. And I think I'll catch up on them.
I think at this point, for me, the only things that I have not seen, I have not seen any of the docs, either short or feature length.
Right, me neither.
And I've only not seen 3 of the international features, but I've seen literally everything else.
Got it.
Including the animated shorts and the live action shorts.
That's right. I have seen those as well.
Yeah, well, we saw them together.
What?
So,
I thought that was a surprise.
No.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
Well, so before we even get into the list, I mean, in the spirit of the Oscars maybe not necessarily being the be-all, end-all.
Yeah.
Did you have any things that you loved this year that you felt were sort of left off the list of the good things?
Yes. Well, there are a couple that I can speak to, and there are a couple that I've heard should have been up for awards. I think Uncut Gems.
Yeah,
Oddly,
I agree.
I mean, there's some really awesome filmmaking and acting
Yeah.
in that one. I don't know the politics behind it, but I believe there are
Probably.
some significant politics behind it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, again, I'm not completely plugged into
Yeah.
the business, but I feel like that one very much got snubbed. I also think that Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but I've heard great things about it.
Yeah. So it's it's sad.
Yeah.
But
I have it on Blu-ray at home. I just haven't had a chance to
there
watch
you are.
it yet.
There's only so many hours in a day.
That's literally
Sir.
what it comes down to. And when you're watching all the canon movies, it's really hard.
That takes up quite a bit of time. How about you?
The Farewell was incredible.
Yes, that's what I've heard,
Aquafina
too.
was amazing. Dolomite, I thought, was a really
my
great
God!
movie.
Of course,
Yeah,
we did
we
a
talked
Cannon
about it,
Blast
yeah.
on it. Yeah. God damn, that was good.
Divine Joy Randolph, who played Lady Reed. Eddie Murphy, who played, of course, Rudy Ray Moore.
Yes, of course.
I thought the writing could have been nominated. I thought the direction could have been... It was just a very good movie.
Yeah.
I thought Honey Boy, which is Shia LaBeouf's movie,
Yeah.
that he wrote and starred in, was...
The biopic of him, right? Or
kinda,
loosely, yeah.
It was pretty fucking phenomenal.
Wow.
I thought that was great. I thought Hustlers was really good, especially Jennifer Lopez, which that's not really a hot take. Everyone kind of talks about she was sort of snubbed there. I think Midsummer had some really good performances in it.
I think that it does, but it loses a little steam
Sure.
near the end, and
Well-
also there's, I mean, not too much steam because there's
I mean-
more smoke.
Right. Oh, boy. But for me, like, I wouldn't necessarily... Florence Pugh would have been, like, the person from that movie. And,
Okay,
like, the
yeah.
big thing. I thought because
Yeah.
I thought she was particularly great. And Booksmart. I think
Oh my
Booksmart
God,
being left off.
I completely forgot that came out this year
Yeah.
and was amazing.
It was fantastic.
Oh,
so,
that's a
if
shame.
we're kind of just talking in the world of snubs of things that I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that should have been at least included more in the conversation, I would have included all of those.
Olivia Wilde's freshman
Yeah,
directorial.
she was fantastic.
Man, so good.
So
Yeah,
maybe we
man.
should get into...
Let's run through it all.
Yeah.
We will possibly put in time code for each category, and you can skip around if you'd like. So that'll be fun for you.
Cool.
But yeah, we're gonna go from wherever we want to start.
Yeah,
So haha.
I think we're going to start it, just so you're aware, like, we're going to start off at the end of the IMDb Oscar guide. So we're working from international feature all the way up to best feature.
Yep.
And I think what we're going to do is try to move through these pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think so.
And just include, basically, if we haven't seen something in here,
Oh, definitely.
we should just mention
We
that.
will be honest.
And then we should talk about what we think is going to win, and then what we personally want to win.
Yeah.
Because I think these are two separate kind of categories.
Oh,
And
of course.
Of course, this is keeping out things like the stuff that we enjoyed and really loved that weren't even nominated.
Yeah.
So-
Because that gets too damn complicated.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you want to know, email us and we'll
tell you.
send you a real long email.
Yeah. So, for Best International Feature, we have
Yeah.
Corpus Christi, Les Miserables, Honeyland, Pain and Glory, and Parasite.
Yes.
So,
I have only seen Parasite.
so yours is like a one and done thing.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I've heard amazing things about Pain and Glory. I really want to see that. Also in Les Miserables, I've heard beautiful things. I have not actually heard of Corpus Christi, and I've heard very few things about Honeyland, but I really want to see Pain and Glory because of
Almodovar or Banderas?
Banderas. Yeah, I've seen some clips from it, and he looks great.
Yeah.
But I would say I want Parasite to win.
Yeah, so I have seen Pain and Glory, and I have seen Parasite. Parasite's going to win hands down.
Yeah.
With a caveat of I haven't seen 3 of the 5 movies.
That's fair.
I also want Parasite to win.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
All right.
Jump into best live action short film, which we actually saw, like we said, last night.
Last night. So
Great
We have
stuff.
seen.
How
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah, I thought these were great. We have Brotherhood, Saria, A Sister, The Neighbor's Window, and Nefta Football Club. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen the live action shorts before? Or
No, I really haven't, and this I feel cheated now.
yeah. So what happens every year, at least in the LA area, which we're very fortunate to live in for things like this. There's a television station called Shorts TV that's on DirecTV that puts together all the nominated short films, all the nominated short docs, and all the nominated animated films.
Yeah.
And in 3 separate programs, you can go, sit, watch all the movies in whatever the runtime is.
Less than an hour and a half or something like that.
Yeah. And it's fun because you can see the entire category in, an hour and a half, which usually you need 10 hours to do that.
And I really wish there was a platform where you could access them all.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing about Shorts TV is they eventually do show them all. It's just that it's usually after the awards ceremony.
Yeah, and sometimes you can find them on YouTube or Vimeo, some places, different things like that. But I wish these were more accessible.
Yeah, I do too, because I think there is almost always really interesting work. This is probably the 7th or 8th year in a row now that I've watched the shorts.
Okay, yeah.
And there's usually one that is like, I don't know how this was nominated. Right. And then 4 where you're like, this is really great.
Yeah.
And there's usually also one where you're like, what? How the fuck did they get insert incredibly famous movie star here? But, so this year we've got Brotherhood, Saria, A Sister, The Neighbor's Window, and Nefta Football Club.
Yep.
What do you think?
Oh, all of them were amazing. I thought that none of them were lacking. Only one of them was a comedy.
Yes.
The rest of them were essentially tragedies.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I was struck by A Sister.
Okay.
Very much. I think that The Neighbor's Window is a more fleshed out narrative. But also there's a very sad story behind Saria, and I think that might win.
Okay.
But I kind of want A Sister to win.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
I think Nefta Football Club's going to win.
Oh, the only comedy.
Yeah. From watching these over the years, comedies tend to win.
With shorts?
With shorts.
Okay, interesting.
That's the one place where you'll find something where comedy... I mean, obviously, there's an exception to every rule.
Yeah.
But The Neighbor's Window, I really enjoyed. But, I mean, I enjoyed all of them. But Nefta Football Club, I think, will win. And I was surprised by enough of it that I... So, for A Brotherhood, there was a moment where I kind of saw a mile away. Not Saria.
Yeah.
You could sort of see some things from a mile away. Neighbor's Window, same thing.
Yeah.
But Nefta Football Club was really shocking and surprising in a good way.
That's fair. That's true.
All right.
Cool. Yeah. Moving on to Best Animated Short Film.
So we have Daughter, Kit Bull, Sister, Hair Love, and Memorable.
Oof. You want to go first?
Sure.
All right.
I think Hair Love's gonna win.
All right. Most accessible, I think.
It's very accessible.
Yeah.
And I thought Kit Bull was delightful. Sister was a really beautiful story about the one-child rule policy in China. But for me personally, I thought Memorable, and part of this is because my own personal life has similar themes as Memorable happening right now. Memorable killed me. I cried for 9 minutes. So I would like Memorable to win, but I think Hair Love's going to win.
Interesting. I actually agree with you on Memorable. I think that was one of the most, not ingenious, but striking of all of them. I do think that you're right. I think that Hair Love is that the one that is... No, Kit Bull is the Pixar short, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hair Love was Sony.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of times the Pixar short takes it, but I think that Sony has stepped up, and that the Hair Love, in fact, it pulls on the heartstrings, but gives you a nice ending. It gives you a great ending. So I think you're right. I think that's the one that's going to take it.
Okay.
Moving on, next, we stick with animated,
Yep.
but we go to the feature. So we have How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, I Lost My Body, Klaus, Missing Link, and Toy Story 4. What do you think?
I've seen all 5.
Okay.
And this is an interesting category for many reasons. Very different films. To make the long story short, this is between Toy Story 4 and Klaus.
Yeah, okay. I have not seen Klaus.
Okay. It's beautiful. And actually, if voters watch Klaus, I think Klaus wins.
Okay.
Because the story is original enough.
Nice.
And I think, as much as I loved Toy Story 4, I think Klaus is my pick as my personal choice.
Sure.
And I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say Klaus is the winner.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, you have a lot of faith in people watching the non-Pixar ones.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I have seen How to Train Your Dragon, Missing Link, and Toy Story 4. I absolutely love stop-motion animation. I don't think it's going to win. And also, How to Train...
It's really good. You're
Missing
talking about
Link.
Missing Link.
Yeah, of course.
It's really good. It's also Laika's worst movie.
No, I know. Yeah, they have a wide breadth of good stuff. But yeah, no, this is more a lot of fluff, a little bit of fluff, a lot of, But How to Train Your Dragon, I've always liked the series, the series of movies. I know that there's a series, a TV show, but I think you're right. I really enjoyed Toy Story 4, and I can't say anything about Klaus or I Lost My Body, so I think it will go to Toy Story 4. Unfortunately, not unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it's a worthy movie.
It's an absolutely worthy movie, and they have amazingly talented people working at Pixar, and I love Pixar. I love the people at Pixar. I know people there, but it always feels like
it's the one that
trounces the rest of them.
Yeah,
and not to say that they shouldn't release something every year, but give some people a chance. Okay, next one, we have Best Documentary Short Subject.
Yeah, so...
I have not seen any of these.
Me either, so I can just tell you what I've heard.
Okay.
So the movie's nominated In the Absence, Learning to Skateboard in a War Zone If You're a Girl, Life Overtakes Me, St. Louis Superman, Walk Around Cha-Cha.
Yeah.
Everything I've heard is it's going to Learning to Skateboard in a War Zone If You're a Girl.
I like the title, so I have no frame of reference for this one, so...
All right.
Yeah, let's say that one.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
Best Documentary Feature, which I also haven't seen any of them.
Neither.
American Factory, For Sama, Honeyland, which was also, if you remember, in
the Best Foreign Film. Yes.
The Cave and The Edge of Democracy. Weirdly, everything but The Cave was a streaming service. Put it out.
Oh, interesting. Why didn't I not see any of these?
I know,
such a
right?
Lazy ass.
Same thing here. I plan on binging as much of this as I can before Sunday.
Yeah.
But from everything I heard, it's going to American Factory.
Okay, interesting. Well, good luck to all of you. All right, onward to the next category. Nick, what would that be?
We have Best of Achievement in Visual Effects.
Nice. It's the only one that Avengers Endgame is nominated in.
Yep. Well, you gave that away.
Yep. I thought that was common knowledge.
Yep.
All right. Avengers Endgame, The Irishman, The Lion King, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, and 1917.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
This one's a tough category.
Irishman, right?
Exactly, The Irishman. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, that de-aging, man. That's quality.
The de-aging at times was great. At times it was terrible. But the biggest thing about the de-aging that cracked me up was that they still shuffled around like little old men.
That scene where he's beating up the shopkeep.
Oh, God.
He's like, kicking you.
That was a hole. Anyways.
What do you think, though?
The Lion King was gorgeous, but I think the movie was not good enough.
Nah.
I think this is a toss-up between Avengers Endgame and 1917.
I do, too.
But my hunch is that 1917 is going to win.
More serious movie, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I think it probably deserves it, because I think as beautiful as Avengers Endgame is, at this point, I have seen that exact same thing in 19 other Marvel movies. Whereas at least 1917 had enough going for it where I was surprised by certain things.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm on the same page with you.
Okay.
I think that's essentially what's going to happen. It's a more serious movie to be taken seriously, unfortunately. And
what would you want to win, though?
I would want Avengers Endgame to win.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
And next we have the two sound categories, sound mixing and sound editing.
Okie dokie.
I'm going to take a moment to, just
to
mansplain to everybody in case
as
you
long as
don't
you're not
know
manspreading
the difference.
Yeah.
And it's totally okay because I actually didn't know the difference between these two categories until like 2 years ago. The best way to think about it is sound editing is making the sounds.
Okay.
Sound mixing is putting those sounds,
layering them
into the movie.
Sure.
So editing is the creation of sound. Mixing is like how it fits with the rest of the film.
Okay, gotcha.
And oftentimes, I think this is really funny. Editing and mixing, the categories are almost the same 5.
Sure.
And the same 5. Usually there's one difference, which this year there is one difference. So we'll start with sound editing.
Okay.
Best achievement in sound editing, 1917, Ford versus Ferrari, Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Have you seen all these, or
I have,
where you at?
yes. No, not Ford versus Ferrari.
Okay.
Unfortunately. I feel like I can't. Yeah, this is a tough one. Because you honestly, unfortunately, with both sound categories, I feel like it's the underappreciated category.
Well,
because
yeah.
people, unless sound is awful,
yes,
people aren't going to notice
they
it.
don't notice
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Well, and
so,
it always goes to the war movie too.
Yeah,
so.
either war movie, or I feel like Ford versus Ferrari has a good, even though I haven't seen it, I've seen the clips from it, and it's hard to create those sounds, machine sounds,
Yes.
you know. So yeah, I would say probably 1917, and that's what I'd want.
Yeah, so for me, I want Ford versus Ferrari.
Okay.
It's going to go to 1917. Like I said, it always goes to the war movie. And with sound mixing, we have 1917, Ford versus Ferrari, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Joker, which are all in sound editing.
The previews one, yeah.
The only difference is we have Ad Astra
Instead of
added
Star
to
Wars.
sound mixing.
Yes.
And this one, again, I would give it personally to Ford versus Ferrari.
Okay.
But my guess is it's going to go to 1917.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would probably say the same if I had seen Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah.
I just feel like, yes, a war movie is hard to. There's a lot of interesting sounds and stuff in 1917, but I think that the races and everything like that are probably so much more complicated.
Yeah.
So interesting. But I'd love to see the editing booth for the mixing.
Either of
My
those?
God, yeah,
Holy shit.
absolutely.
It'd be gorgeous to watch.
Indeed. All right. All those waves. Moving on to Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Pictures. Original song.
Original song.
Go for the list.
We have Diane Warren writing I'm Standing With You from Breakthrough.
Okay.
Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez writing Into the Unknown
I've
from
met them.
Frozen 2.
They're
Really?
very nice.
Interesting. Cynthia Erivo, Josh Bryan Campbell from writing Stand Up from Harriet.
Okay.
Elton John and Bertie Taupin writing I'm Gonna Love Me Again from Rocket Man.
Nice.
And Randy Newman writing I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away from
I
Toy Story
can't
4.
let you throw yourself away.
Right foot, left foot.
Right.
Little Family Guy reference.
Here you go. Go ahead, man.
So I have heard all of these songs.
Okay.
Technically, I have not seen Breakthrough.
I have not heard of it.
Oh.
Sadly.
It's a religious movie about somebody who falls in through ice and God saves them. And I think this one is basically, and I agree, it's Rocket Man is the safe choice if you're a betting person. Elton John and Bernie Taupin. And honestly, listening to all 5 of the songs, Stand Up is beautiful because of Cynthia Erivo's voice, but I don't think it's quite a winner.
Okay.
And like the Frozen 2 song and the Toy Story 4 song are both really great, but they also kind of sound like other songs from the same exact movie.
And it's definitely not a Let It Go.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
So I think Rocket Man.
Yeah, I think I'd want Rocket Man to win, and I think it will.
Yeah.
Just looking at it just feels like it's going to rise to the top.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Picture Original Score.
Yeah.
Thomas Newman for 1917. Hildur Gundebotter.
Hildur Guðnadóttir.
I
Whoops.
butchered that
It's
from The
fine.
Joker.
Yeah. Alexandra Desplat from Little Women.
Randy Newman.
From Marriage Story.
Marriage Story.
Yes. And John Williams from Star Wars Episode
Yeah.
9, The Rise of Skywalker. What do you think is going to hit it?
Pretty much hands down, both. This will be the only time I think I say this tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I want the Joker to win.
And it probably will.
And it probably will.
Yeah. Go back and listen to our Cannon Blast on the Joker, or don't.
I remember
mean,
we called it on that episode.
Oh, we absolutely did. We said,
score and
the
Joaquin
score
Phoenix
is
gonna
win it.
Yep.
And I do believe so. I think it's a haunting score. I think
gorgeous.
It's not overbearing, but it ties the whole movie together. It
and
absolutely does.
She won this year already for Chernobyl.
Oh,
the
that's
Emmy,
right.
So
that's right.
She's on her way to.
She's the
my
next...
guess is she's halfway to her EGOT.
Yeah, no, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where that is.
Yep.
All right. Best achievement in makeup and hairstyling. We got 1917, Bombshell, Joker, Judy, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
Oof. This one's tough.
Right?
This one's tough.
This one's tough.
I don't think Maleficent has a chance.
Okay.
I don't think 1917's going to get it. I don't think Joker's going to get it. I really think it's a toss-up between Judy and Bombshell.
Yeah.
I was not too enthralled with Judy.
Okay.
And
Even though biopics, man, that always,
yeah,
you know.
it's a whole So I think this one's going to Bombshell.
Okay, yeah.
That's my guess.
Okay, gotcha.
And actually, I think that probably deserves it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that probably, yeah, I would say it's a toss-up, like you say, between those two. And I'm going to trust you. I haven't seen Judy, but Bombshell will take it.
Bombshell will take it.
Yeah.
All right. Achievement in costume design. We have Jojo Rabbit, The Joker, Little Women, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and The Irishman. Have you seen all these?
I have.
Okay.
Yes, actually. Jesus, this is tough.
This one's really tough.
Because I think Jojo Rabbit has it. Jojo and Little Women, and well, these are all period pieces, so it takes a lot.
Technically, they all. Yeah, they all are.
Technically, it takes a lot to design this stuff. I'm gonna say this is a weird one, just for being on this reasoning alone, but The Irishman goes across multiple time periods.
Uh-huh.
So maybe people appreciated that. It's not the flashiest. I would say
It's just a bunch of suits and dudes' haircuts.
For me personally, I'd say Jojo Rabbit or Little Women. But what about you?
I think I struggle between Jojo Rabbit and Little Women, and actually Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think Little Women's going to win.
Okay.
Basically because Jojo Rabbit, as beautiful as the costumes are, most of the costumes are Nazi uniforms. Which
maybe
are pretty,
they won't give it to that.
quote-unquote standard.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas Little Women, a lot of dresses, a lot of beautiful dresses, a lot of dresses over time.
That's true.
And wealth.
And countries.
Yes.
Across the way. So, yeah. But I did also like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah. So you think it's going to be Little Women?
My guess is Little Women.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right. Cool.
Best achievement in production design. We've got 1917, Jojo Rabbit, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite, and The Irishman.
Ooh, man. Oh, so to correct something from our episode on Parasite, actually, the house was not actually an existing house. The house was created.
Oh.
We actually got told that by a listener on our YouTube page, and I looked it up, and it was actually all created by Bong. Yeah, and his production team.
I could have sworn I read that.
I know. I thought so too. But
interesting.
Yeah, I looked it up, did the research.
Interesting.
And, so
good to know.
Honestly, taking that into account, I think it's going to be Parasite, because that fucking house
was gorgeous.
Is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the rest of it. I mean, the apartment.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
So that's what you think is going to win, or that's what you want to win? Or both?
Both. Yeah.
This one's hard.
It's hard because 1917 is so much creation.
Actually, I was going to say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, interesting.
Well, because you got to remember, Tarantino used almost no digital effects.
Oh my God, you're right.
He created signage for entire streets that they can drive up and down.
That's fair. That's true.
So in a way, I almost lean towards Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Sure.
Because there is an amazing bit of artistry and creating
practical
all of those
artistry.
things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Practical artistry there. And Parasite was gorgeous. I wouldn't be mad if Parasite won. And I think Parasite's going to have a good year.
I think so.
I think Parasite is probably gonna win, but I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is where my gut goes on this one.
All right, yeah, no, I looking back on it, kind of agree, but good luck.
Yeah.
Best achievement in film editing.
We've got Ford versus Ferrari, Joker, The Irishman, Parasite, and Jojo Rabbit.
Hey.
I think this is The Irishman. I think as far as a movie is edited, it is a tight, solid movie. It moves quick.
Fuck you.
What? I don't understand.
It's 3.5 hours.
Yeah. No, it's funny. It is almost
was
funny
there
that
editing?
The Irishman was that. Yeah. I hate to say it.
Didn't they just let it roll?
Yeah.
It's a great achievement.
It's
just.
Well, it is the best achievement in film editing. So for me, my money is on Ford versus Ferrari is probably going to win.
Sure.
And Ford versus Ferrari actually I think deserves to win.
Interesting.
But I'm not mad if Parasite wins.
Okay. Yeah,
I think that is within the realm of possibility.
I honestly feel like it's a toss-up between Ford versus Ferrari and Joker. Not that I want Joker to win, but I believe that they may competitive, except I think that the achievement showing, I'm assuming, again, I haven't seen Ford versus Ferrari, but it feels like a much more complicated edit.
It's
yeah. No, I mean, with any racing car movie, it's going to be complicated. Days of Thunder, everything like that.
Totally.
Ford versus Ferrari for me. I think there's a contention there, but I think that'll take it.
Cinematography, we've got 1917, Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, and The Lighthouse. 1917, I don't even know why we're wasting our time.
That's fair. No, absolutely. 1917 is a masterful project. Jesus.
Like, I mean, honestly, I don't know why
you
would be wasted.
you said it best. I mean, the stars of the movie are the director and the cinematographer.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adapted screenplay, we got Taika Waititi for Jojo Rabbit, Todd Phillips and Scott Silver for The Joker, Greta Gerwig for Little Women, Steve Zalian for The Irishman, and Anthony McCartan for The Two Popes.
Okay.
Have you seen all of these?
Not The Two Popes.
Okay. Two Popes was
great.
I was astounded by how much I liked it.
Nice.
At first, when I saw the nominations, I was like, really? And then I saw it and I went, oh, I get it. And I also understand why Price and Hopkins were nominated. They were both great.
Yeah.
This one is really a toss-up between Jojo Rabbit and Little Women.
Okay.
My hunch is that Little Women's going to win. Greta Gerwig's going to win for Little Women.
Yeah.
And I also think that she deserves the win.
It's a beautiful adaptation.
It's a beautiful adaptation. I actually didn't know a lot about the book.
Okay.
I mean, like, I know about the book, but, like, the book is actually in two parts. There is no going back and forth in time.
Oh, interesting.
The book is just a straight-through narrative.
Yeah.
You see the girls younger, you see them older.
Okay.
And I thought Greta Gerwig made a lot of really interesting, really smart decisions about, like, how she introduced the male characters with their counterparts.
Yes.
And how...
Well, mirroring
things and the way she moved through time. I thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
I thought it was a near perfect adaptation.
Yeah.
But if people want to celebrate how you make a comedy about World War II Germany with Hitler...
Yeah.
Taika Waititi did a great job with Jojo Rabbit.
It's such an amazing, unique story. I'm on your side with that. We have same brain every once in a while, and I think this is happening quite a bit today. But Jojo Rabbit, I want to win. Not to say that Greta Gerwig does not. I think that's one of my top three. Little Women,
mine too, of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. But I would say Little Women will be taken more seriously as a screenplay rather than a comedy.
Yeah,
because it has more weight to it.
And
I think
she did really interesting things. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the screenplay. She did really interesting things in writing it. Like everything that took place in the past. And this doesn't sound revolutionary, but it actually is revolutionary.
Okay.
She put it in red.
Okay.
And everything that's in the present is in black.
Because usually it's blue and green.
No, usually it's just all in black.
I know, I'm kidding. That's fascinating.
Well, and then also too, I heard a podcast where she was talking to somebody about the movie, and they were like, "I've never seen this technique before, where you have characters interrupting with slash marks, which is a play technique that's used in literally every play ever written."
Fascinating.
But it was a screenwriter, who is a famous screenwriter.
How interesting!
Was just mind blown by it. So I think those who work in the film industry are going to are seeing play techniques, and they're seeing like the different color font text,
right.
And that's going to be really shocking for people.
I'll have to check that out.
Innovative,
yeah,
and it really is that she did that. She's very
That's really cool.
Yeah. Best Original Screenplay, Sam Mendes and Christy Wilson Cairns for 1917, Ryan Johnson's Knives Out, Noah Baumbach's Marriage Story, Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then Bong Joon-ho and Jin-Won Han for Parasite.
Yes.
To me, this is a race between Tarantino and Bong Joon-ho and Jin-Won Han. Parasite or Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
I hope Parasite wins, and I think Parasite's going to win.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think Knives Out deserves its place at the table.
Yes, I agree. I think its win was its nomination.
Yes, absolutely. I think that that it was taken seriously enough to be up there.
Yes.
So I think you're right. I think that that's going to be it for it. I really enjoy the personality that is in Marriage Story. I don't think it deserves the win, but I'm glad it's in there. And so, yeah, Parasite I want to win, and I think it probably will. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a fantastic script, but
yeah. And I will say, I think the reason to lean towards Parasite is Quentin's already won this prize.
Oh, sure. Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah. I mean,
well, good.
They have to give out their Lifetime Achievement Awards.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, here is one of the big ones. Directing.
Excuse me, we already hit 2 big ones. The Screenplays. No, I know. God damn it.
Oh, right. Writers. They exist. How's that going over there?
Fuck you.
Moving on to directing. We got Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. We got Martin Scorsese for The Irishman. We got Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Sam Mendes for 1917. And Todd Phillips for The Joker.
I think
Who's got this?
Is a 3-person race.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. I think there's 3 tiers here.
Yeah.
The bottom tier is Todd Phillips and Martin Scorsese.
Okay.
The middle tier is Bong Joon-ho and Quentin Tarantino, and the top tier is Sam Mendes. My guess is it's going to be Sam Mendes.
Yeah.
I would prefer to see Bong Joon-ho or Quentin Tarantino win.
Yeah.
And if I had to pick one of those two, it would be Bong Joon-ho.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's. I hate that you keep going first because I swear to God, you got good ideas, and I don't want to steal them. But
I'll let you go first on the next one.
Oh, fuck you! All right, so Bong Joon-ho, I really want to win.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have any problem with Quentin Tarantino. He did a beautiful job with the movie. I think you're right. I think the achievement of 1917 is just mind-blowing.
Yes.
It really is. I mean, the dedication and the fact that I can't believe Sam Mendes convinced Benedict Cumberbatch to stay in that bunker for like 6 months until they got to the end.
Until they got to him.
Fascinating, man. Yeah.
Just keep this mess. We need another take.
No, Sam Mendes will take it. Yeah.
I agree. All right, best performance by an actress in a supporting role.
Yeah.
We have Florence Pugh for Little Women, Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell, Laura Dern for Marriage Story, Margot Robbie for Bombshell, and Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit. I'm going to let you go first then.
Damn it. All right.
Have you seen all of these?
I have not. I haven't seen Richard Jewell.
Okay.
So...
Did you see Bombshell?
I did. Oh, God. All of these people. I want to see Scarlett Johansson win. For this, she is the heart of as much as as Jojo and Elsa are sort of the people that you follow, but I feel like the heart and a lot of the comedy comes from Scarlett Johansson.
And Sam Rockwell.
I know, yes, but I think
and
that
Taika Waititi.
Okay, yes,
and everybody else in the movie except for Elsa and Stephen Merchant.
That's true. Fuck, man, I was okay. Not just the comedy. But the heart of the movie is Scarlett Johansson and JoJo's relationship. And I love that she's nominated for both categories. And I think that she should win this one. So, go.
Who do you think will win?
Shit. Maybe Laura Dern?
Yeah,
honestly.
This is Laura Dern's to lose.
Yeah, I think so. Because she was I loved her.
Well, and she's won every single award so far.
There you go.
It's Laura Dern's to lose.
Yep.
Now I hate to agree with you, but yeah, Scarlett was great, and I actually lean towards Scarlett Johansson in Jojo Rabbit because I think she did a lot of subtle, great work. The scene where she was both the mom and the dad alone was worth it.
Yes, definitely.
Best performance by an actor in a supporting role, we have Al Pacino for The Irishman, Anthony Hopkins for The Two Popes, Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Joe Pesci for The Irishman, and Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Hey, go ahead.
I'm going first. This one's a hard category because I think all the performances were pretty great.
Agreed.
Anthony Hopkins was pretty spectacular. Tom Hanks was pretty spectacular. I think this is Brad Pitt's award to lose, considering he's won everything thus far.
Sure.
I'm actually going to go off the board. As much as I loved Brad Pitt in this movie, I actually thought Joe Pesci was a masterclass in subtle acting and subtle menace, and also incredibly funny. I thought his performance in The Irishman was actually the one performance that really held me captivated start to finish. I thought he was great.
I think it's just wonderful to see him on screen again.
That
honestly,
too.
like
That too.
you know, not that this should be a lifetime achievement award or something, so like a made up makeup. You know, he's just I agree. Like I
heard
did
that
not
De
have.
Niro and Scorsese asked him over 50 times, and he denied over 50 times.
Well, I'm so glad they asked the 51st time. You know, because he. I agree. I miss seeing him on screen.
He's so good.
It's really amazing.
Have you ever seen My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah.
I watched that again not too long ago. And it's one of those movies where you're just like, right, Joe Pesci is...
He's just this guy.
One of the greatest actors of his generation.
He really is.
And he can play comedy, he can play drama, and his range is small.
Yeah.
But what he does incredibly, and
that's
he is
him.
real.
Yeah. I feel like he is that gangster.
Yeah.
I feel like he is... that fucking lawyer. It's just, it's silly how dedicated and in the roles that he is.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I was listening back to our episode on A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and we were raving about Tom Hanks, and sadly, he pales in comparison to the three others. I mean, he's great. He's wonderful in it.
Wait, which three others?
I'm sorry, the others that I've seen. I haven't seen the two popes, so I can't comment on Anthony Hopkins.
So I will say, I thought Al Pacino was... Al Pacino!
Yeah, of course.
But I'm alpha!
I think he did enough subtle differences that he kept me interested most of the time.
I had said
not all of the time.
I had said after I watched The Irishman, it was nice to see Al Pacino and Robert De Niro act again, which was a lot of shade. I got to be honest. Actually, what I said was it was nice to see those three guys act again. And the person I was with went, Pacino and De Niro work all the time. And I was like, yeah, but it was nice to see them act again. Ooh.
Yikes. Woof.
Oof.
Yep.
They're going to punch me in the face when
this
I meet
will never get back to him.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think Brad will take it.
Yeah, Brad. It's Brad.
Yeah. Moving on to performances by an actress in a leading role. We've got Charlize Theron in Bombshell, Cynthia Erivo, Harriet, Renee Zellweger, Judy, Saoirse Ronan, Little Women, and Scarlett Johansson once again for Marriage Story. She's one of the 12 people to ever have been nominated for both categories.
Yeah, in the same year.
Yes. What is happening?
So this is one where I know we said that we wouldn't talk about Snubs too much, but I am kind of appalled that Awkwafina did not make
the farewell
list.
Yeah.
And this is really difficult to say because hashtag Oscars so white, and it is a really white year. And I have to be honest, I'm pretty shocked Cynthia Erivo was nominated for Harriet, because hot take, Harriet was not a great movie.
Okay.
It was melodramatic, and I think Harriet Tubman deserves a better movie, rather than a very run-of-the-mill
paint-by-numbers
biopic that just did not serve the woman.
Didn't tell any new tales.
Well, it's just that this woman is incredible and important, and she deserves to fucking be on U.S. currency.
Right. And
the movie that they made of her just wasn't good.
Okay.
And I would have happily seen Lupita Nyong'o for us.
Yeah.
If we want to
Hell yeah.
It should be not just all white folks, but that's a whole other story.
Agreed.
So I just want to say that is I think it would have been lovely to see Awkwafina. And it should be pointed out that Awkwafina is not a white actress either.
It's true.
But she was stunning in The Farewell. So I will just say that.
Go out and support that movie.
Yeah, please do. But Renee Zellweger is going to win.
Okay.
And I'm going to have a hot take on Judy
as
well.
Yeah,
is that Judy felt like... Have you seen it yet?
Mm-mm.
The entire time I watched it, all I could see was Renee Zellweger being like, please give me the Oscar. This is all I want in my life is the Oscar, and this is the role that's going to do it.
Okay.
To her credit, she was not very Renee Zellweger-like.
All right.
Although she did have that scrunchy face in place of any emotion.
Yeah. Can't change a face.
But I also think she never really reminded me of Judy Garland either. It was like, so she wasn't Renee Zellweger, but she also wasn't Judy Garland.
Interesting.
But she's going to win.
Okay.
Because that's just the way it's going to be.
Sure.
But I think Saoirse Ronan is the one who actually deserves it. I thought she was phenomenal in Little Women.
Yeah.
Little Women's my second favorite movie of the year.
Great. Fantastic.
Parasite, Little Women.
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, I'm pretty much there with you. Yeah, I mean, 1917 might be... I really did like it.
Interesting, because 1917 probably actually falls to, like, the bottom of my top 10.
Okay.
Because The Farewell would go above it. I think Dolomite would go above it.
Okay.
Booksmart.
Shit.
I'm just going to keep naming movies.
No, there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood I liked more.
Fair. Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Interesting.
I can have my own opinions.
Yes, you can. I can have differing ones. Yours could be wrong.
Wow, opinions can't be wrong.
What?
Only facts. Anyway,
so if the current political climate has taught me anything,
we don't talk
facts
about that.
Are opinions, and opinions are facts.
We don't talk about that.
Talk about what?
Yep. Back to movies.
Yep.
Well, I mean, maybe you're right. Probably you're right for Renee, but
she's won every award so far.
Yeah. Saoirse Ronan, I really want her to win. I think she absolutely deserves it for that one. Heartbreaking and complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, she wears it inside and outside, her emotions, and it's fascinating. Onward, best performance by an actor in a leading role.
We've got Adam Driver for Marriage Story, Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, Joaquin Phoenix for The Joker, Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes,
Alrighty,
and Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Nice. So I know it's going to be, if the other award shows are any indication, it's going to be Joaquin
Phoenix. This is such a weird year in that, like, it seems that all 4 awards for acting, Pitt, Zellweger, Phoenix, and Dern, are pretty much locks.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah.
Nobody has any imagination, it feels like I don't know. I don't know how these are voted on or how it's all tabulated in all of the award shows, but we'll see, I guess. I think if you extract Joaquin from the Joker, his performance is amazing.
I agree.
Performance is a wonderful
I agree.
feat. He dedicated so much to it. You know, he lost the weight, he studied, and he created this vulnerable character. It just wasn't the Joker to me.
Yeah, that is your comic book nerdery.
Yes. Yeah, it is. But this episode would be another Cannon Blast just on the Joker if we were to go into it.
We did a Cannon Blast on the Joker.
I know. It would be another one. That's what the word another means. So, yeah, he's going to take it. I would love to see Leo get another award. I think that... I know that you loved Pitt in Once Upon a Time, but I really, I dug Leo's depth in it. I know that he was Leo.
Yeah, Leo was Leo.
But the greatest part is that it felt almost like if his career had gone a different way, this could be him.
Yeah.
This could be him in his, close to 50s, in like a not great place in his career. I dug the story maybe more than his performance in it, but he carried it through for me.
So you want Leo?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
I would say so.
Yeah, I think Joaquin's going to win.
Yep.
I know I said back on our Cannon Blast of the Joker that... Because, I mean, I want to point out that this was like way back in October. We called Joaquin Phoenix and Score.
Right, yeah.
And I said I'm not going to be mad if either of them win.
Sure.
I'm still not going to be mad if the Score wins. I think I'm going to get grumpy if the Joker wins, but he's going to win anyway, so what are you going to do? This is actually one of those weird years where I think all people are deserving of the award. Like, if any of them won, I'd be like, I get it. But actually, I personally would like Adam Driver to win it. The scene where in Marriage Story where they have the
wall
fight.
Punch? Yeah.
That was...
heartbreaking.
That hurt.
Yeah.
So...
No, yeah.
Best Motion Picture of the Year. We've got 1917, Ford vs. Ferrari, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite, and The Irishman.
All right, I'm going to tell you what my top 3 for this are. It's Parasite. I want Parasite to win.
I agree.
I think second and third would be Little Women and Jojo.
Actually,
I mean, I know that those are your top 3.
Those are my top 3.
You know, but in that order, I think Parasite, Little Women, Jojo.
Yeah. When I was talking about my top movies of the year, I
Yeah.
forgot Ford vs. Ferrari. I absolutely loved Ford vs. Ferrari. I thought
yeah.
it was incredible.
Fascinating. I'm going to check that out like today.
It's also a total popcorn flick.
No,
it's
yeah,
one of
yeah.
those weird movies where like it's the best summer movie
All right.
of the
That has
fall.
substance.
Like
Interesting.
it was weird when it came out, but
Yeah.
it's delightful.
All right. Yeah, I'm on it. I think out of the top, that's the only one I haven't seen of the nominated. I think I honestly close fourth would be Once Upon a Time.
Interesting. I
And
really
then
liked Once Upon a Time as well.
Marriage Story maybe next. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Go for it.
um,
I don't know who's gonna win. I honestly.
oh,
don't.
it's going to be a toss up between 1917 and Parasite.
I hope so.
100%. It's
Yeah.
one of those two.
Okay.
I think 1917 is probably going to win, and I'm going to be very grumpy because I think Parasite
Deserves
is
it.
far better.
And they'll probably give it best foreign language feature,
But
that's not enough.
Parasite should be winning.
I
like,
saw
4 awards this
Parasite
year.
the night it opened
Yeah.
in Hollywood, and I was like, God damn, this is good, man.
I think Parasite should. Well, we talked about it.
we did.
It's great.
Yeah.
So that's our breakdown.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, mostly this was our vanity project, so that way after the award show
We can
say
check
like,
those boxes.
this is how many we got right.
We knew it.
We are so smart.
Indeed. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Because we're awesome like that.
We're fine.
We want to know if you listened to this before or you listened to it after. We would love to know your opinions on all of these movies. All of these movies do deserve to be up there on the stage. I think there are...
I disagree.
Okay.
I've already said which ones I disagree
That's
with.
fair. That's fair.
There are more deserving things.
Yes. No, I'm saying
And actually,
that...
one was actually... There's at least one of them that was really unwatchable.
Okay.
You'll figure it out if you go back and listen, or if you've already listened all the way through. I mean...
That's fair.
And I'm not talking about Best Picture, I'm just talking about all of the Academy Awards, like what we're looking at.
Sure. No, and I agree that there are more deserving.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But go out and see all of these. I mean, even if they're ones that we said were not worthy of it, it's still cinema, and we would love to hear your opinion on any single one of these movies out there. So, Nick, as we always say on these Cannon Blasts, good night and good Cannon Blast. And the award goes to Nicholas C. Pappas. Oh my God! For most annoying scream. Yeah! So, Nick, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Remember that movie? Go ahead.
Jonathan Pryce for The Two Poops. Leonardo DiCaprio. The Two Poops DiCaprio.
That's going in at the end.
I know it is.
Yep. Say it clean.
It Clean.
What was his name?
Jim Carrey.
No. Oh, Sidney Skolsky.
Skinny Skolsky.
Sydney Skolsky.
Skinny Skolsky.
Yep, that's right.
Skinny Skolsky.
Thank you.
I'm a fucking professional.
Always and forever. Ready? Oh my God. Clearly not.
What?
Gross.
You like wet mouth sounds?
Wet mouth sounds.
The worst part is that's actually going to show up on the end of the episode, and I'm going to vomit everywhere.
Ready? Mouth sounds. Hello and welcome. Oh my God.
You remember when you said that you couldn't imagine being mad at me?
I do. Oh, that's right. Oh, that lasted for no time. I'm trying to produce a professional show here.
Your anger was so palpable. The look on your face.